Let's dive into the icy waters here and talk about a topic that literally has people more divided than my butt cheeks, and that's life and death. We're going over this iceberg chart here that was made by the lovely user Wilhelm's Camel on Reddit. So let's go ahead and jump into the mysteries of life and the unknowns of death, starting off with nothing after death. So that's about as simple as it gets when it comes to this topic. Whenever you think about life and death, one of the first things that probably pops into your head is that, is there anything after death? Sure, many religions have their ideas. They all say that there's this or that, there's heaven and hell, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, nobody knows. And in truth, you won't know either until you experience it. Unless, of course, there is nothing after death. Then I guess you won't experience it. You'll just go back to how you were before you were born because you don't have any recollection or memories or feelings from back then. So it would make sense that you wouldn't have anything when you're gone. Everything is real. I'm assuming this is like a reverse thought on everything is meaningless, like a nihilism kind of approach, or maybe like even the Matrix kind of idea that we're in a simulation, but maybe we're not in a simulation and everything is real. Which is, I guess that's how we perceive everything. We all think it's real, so it's real to us. Dreams are a figment of your imagination. This is very confusing because our dreams, is that literally not the definition of a dream? Is a figment of your imagination because it's not real? Or maybe it's going into the whole thing that dreams are real and they're just like playing out your past life or your alternate reality self. Some people think that. I've heard that idea before. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just the definition of a dream. Life is how we live and perceive it. So that literally is kind of how I explained everything is real. But yeah, pretty much, our senses allow us to perceive the world as we perceive it. Who's to say everybody doesn't perceive the world differently? What if my sense of taste is different than yours? There's no way of telling exactly how the world is meant to be perceived and how we're supposed to live. We just live and we perceive things as we are. But yeah, if you were to sum up human existence in a nutshell, that would probably be it. Life is how we live and perceive it. Karma is an existing concept. Karma is very interesting to me. I believe it's a Buddhist concept. That's where it originates from. At least I'm pretty sure. But it's just like a system of checks and balances, pretty much, to keep you doing good things and not too many bad things. Because, you know, if you do something bad, karma is going to come back around and make it right. And if you do good stuff, then good karma is going to come back around and bring you even more goodness. It's pretty much just reaping what you sow. It's a very good way to live your life. It helps you, you know, making sure you're doing the right thing, making the right choice, not making bad decisions. But overall, I don't think it exactly exists because we have had people like Hitler in the past. And if karma did exist, he should have got something way worse coming to him because he inflicted unfathomable amounts of horror. Judgment Day. So this is from a different religion, of course, Christianity. It just says, you know, when the trumpet sounds in the air and then Jesus descends from heaven, I believe he's going to come down on like a chariot or something real fancy like that, like a gladiator, and then tell everybody, hey, you believe in me? You served me? Come on up. There's room up here for you, pal. You didn't serve me, you didn't worship me and kiss the ground I walk on and, you know, jerk off to me and whatnot. Straight to hell, for I never knew you. But yeah, the idea of Judgment Day itself, just being judged by God and whether you believed in him or not, when there wasn't solid 100%, there wasn't even decent proof that he actually existed. It's a scary thought that you could just, you know, be judged like that. Hell and heaven. This is literally a concept as old as time itself. I'm sure you're familiar with it. You should be familiar with this concept, not just like the Christian version. It's pretty much in every single major religion. There is some form of heaven or hell. Some of them only have one and not the other, but still the concept, it's pretty much the same in all of them. You do good things, you listen to the rules of this religion, you abide by what they say, you get to go to heaven and live in eternal happiness and blissfulness. You do bad stuff, you go against what the religion says, eternal damnation. Because yeah, heaven and hell are eternal concepts as well. I forgot to mention that. In all of these religions, they most oftentimes are concepts of eternal places to exist. Reincarnation as an animal. So obviously, reincarnation, another concept you should be quite familiar with. Just being born into a different body. Your soul remains, but it's being transported to a different body, a different vessel. And in this idea, reincarnation as an animal only. You don't have the option to be reincarnated into like a different body of a different person. Only animals in this situation. And if I'm just thinking here, the animal that I would want to be reincarnated as the most, probably like a mosquito, so I can just absolutely pester the shit out of somebody, make their existence a living hell for a couple minutes on like a hiking trip or a camping trip, and then they'll kill me or I'll die in a couple days because I'm worthless and pathetic anyways, and my lifespan is meaningless. So then it'll be over quickly, and then I can go on to the next body or the afterlife or whatever comes after. Yeah, reincarnation as a mosquito. I want to be an annoyance and then just get it done with. Quick and easy. Next tier is we live in a simulation. Obviously, simulation theory is nothing new. The Matrix kind of made that very mainstream in a way. But yeah, since then, since, a long time ago, actually, people have been debating whether life is a simulation. Notable figures like Elon Musk, he's a big believer in simulation theory. And it's not just him, obviously. It's a very widespread concept at this point. Even Andrew Tate, he goes on his little, what is the word that I'm looking for? I need to have like a dictionary in front of me so I can think of words to say, just look up the pages and whatnot so I can know what I'm trying to say. He's a big advocate for that. It's saying that, wake up from the Matrix, escape the Matrix, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, simulation theory, nothing new. It's nothing insane. It's just saying that we aren't real. We're not in the core reality, and that someone created us and we're running on ones and zeros. Much like us creating The Sims. It's kind of like that. Which kind of ties into the whole idea of having free will. Is there free will? Are you really making choices, or is it a predestined path? Who knows? Life is an examination. I don't really know what this one means. I looked at this before I started recording, and I don't really know what this entry is meaning. The best thing I could come up with is that the way you live your life is an exam of where you're going to be sent to and what's going to happen after this life. Just try to figure out what kind of person you are, the things you do, the things like your ideas, your values, all that kind of stuff. That's really the only thing I can think of that makes sense for that entry. Dreams are an attempt to make a wish come true. It's like you're wishing upon the Dragon Balls. But yeah, I guess, yeah, your desires, your innermost desires, what you want to happen, what you're thinking about constantly, those do seem to come out in your dreams. Your innermost desires, your weaknesses, what you feel bad about, things like that, they slip out and come out in forms of dreams. So I guess it would make sense that dreams could be an attempt to make a wish come true, because it is going to be what's on the foremost of your brain. So yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. I don't know if it works. Obviously, it probably doesn't work, but it's an interesting thought experiment. Reborn as another person. So this is the reincarnation thing again, but instead of an animal, you're being reincarnated as another person. Which always reminds me of that Family Guy gag where Death gets met by Super Death after he dies, and he gets reincarnated as like an Asian baby, and then he comes back immediately because he got reincarnated as an Asian girl, and they killed it. But yeah, reincarnation as another person, it's an interesting thought for sure. Like a different, or the same soul being transferred to a different body. Like it's technically the same person, but in a different form. And obviously you don't have your memories. You don't remember your past self. Some people claim they do, like that weirdo on TikTok who thinks he's Adolf Hitler reincarnated. Very strange person, to say the least. But yeah, that's, once again, very interesting. Reincarnation is a very, very thought-provoking topic. Dropping down another tier here. Deja vu is a memory retained in the past life. So once again, we're going back to reincarnation. And this is, once again, a very familiar phrase. I'm sure you've heard this before, this idea. Sorry, I almost threw up. That deja vu is just one of your memories, or one of your alternate reality selves, one of their memories coming to your head somehow, and you're remembering it for a second, being like, oh, dang, I've done this before, I've said that before, I've seen this, I've heard this, etc., etc. But yeah, it's once again just very interesting to think about. There is obviously no proof for any of this, but that's what makes it so fun to think about and talk about because the possibilities are quite literally endless. You remain conscious after death. That is horrifying. This is by far the most horrifying thing on this entire list. It's a terrifying thought. You remain conscious after death. Like, if you don't get cremated, I guess, if you're only buried, imagine you're just conscious, laying there in the dirt, feeling nothing, seeing nothing, sensing nothing, but just conscious the entire time. Absolutely, absolutely petrifying. That alone makes me want to get cremated and, like, sent out into the wind over top of the ocean or something. Being conscious after you die, for some reason, is such a... I'm running out of adjectives to describe scary. It's a scary, scary, scary thought. Consciousness and dreams are two real universes. So this is a really fun idea because it's saying that consciousness, obviously what we're experiencing right now in our waking lives, is a universe itself. And then obviously dreams is a separate universe that you travel to, that you go to whenever you go to sleep every night, and you do have dreams. Apparently you always have dreams, but it's only occasionally that you remember them. You don't always remember them, but you do always dream. So what if every night you go to sleep, or every time you go to sleep, you're being transported to a different universe? It's a very fun idea. And then the whole idea of lucid dreaming, being able to control your dreams in that universe, if that exists. It just, the rabbit hole never ends, really. Dropping down another tier again, we got the life you live is a dream, and dreams are reality. So a bit of dreamception going on here. I need to read that again so I can comprehend what it just said. So the life we're living right now, me talking to this camera alone in my room looking like a nutcase, is a dream. But then the dreams I have in that bed back there that I need to change the bedclothes of is reality. So it's kind of like a flip-flop. Think about what you know, and then flip that on its head. This entry is pretty much just saying it's opposite day. Purgatory. We all know Purgatory. There was an anime made about Purgatory. What was it called? Dear God. Death Parade. Yes, I watched this anime. Very good anime about, a little bit of purgatory action. But yeah, of course, Purgatory, if you don't know what it is somehow, it's like the in-between, the middle ground between life and death. Some think it's a holding place. Some think you can get stuck in purgatory. They think that could be what explains ghosts and whatnot. They're stuck in the in-between. They can't escape to the afterlife, but they're not fully tied down in this life. They're stuck in the in-between, the unknown. But yeah, the idea of purgatory is definitely an interesting one. It's pretty much like a waiting room, in a way. That's basically, yeah, that's a really good way to describe it. It's a waiting room. You die, you go to the waiting room, they check you in, and they take you to where you're going afterwards. The light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. We are spectators of a body we don't control. So I guess this is like a third-person video game idea, that we are spectating our bodies, but we don't control them. So is this relating back to like we don't really have free will, everything's predestined, we're on a straight path that feels like we have free will, but everything already has been concluded in the end. That's an interesting little thought right there. The idea of thinking about free will always makes me feel a bit existential, because you can't really prove you do have free will, because what if you trying to say, oh, I have free will, I can smack myself in the face? What if that was predestined? What if that's what they coded you to do to make you think you had free will? It's really enough to drive you insane. It's enough to put you in a straitjacket and start banging your head on padded walls. Going down another tier, lucid dreams are your alternate life. So lucid dreams, I guess there's different meanings for lucid dreams. The idea I was thinking about for lucid dreams, man, I'm burpy, is whenever you can control your dreams, you become aware. In layman's terms, lucid dreams are being aware that you're dreaming in your dreams. And this idea says that when you become aware in your dreams, that is your alternate life. So when you're not aware, I guess that's not your alternate life. It's just a dream. But when you are lucid, you're aware in your dreams, that's your alternate life. Fun idea, but there's not really much to look into there, I don't think. At least I can't think of anything to say about it. Pain is not real and only an illusionary manifestation. That literally sounds like a schizophrenic person posting on Twitter. Pain is not real and is only an illusionary manifestation. The government wants you to think that pain's real so they can control you, sheeple. That literally, I just imagine Peter Griffin going and saying, like, in the straitjacket whenever I read that, pain is not real. But it feels pretty damn real, so I'm going to go with the idea that pain is real. Regardless if it really is real, feels real. So I'm just going to try to not get hurt. I'm not going to start cutting off fingers to see if pain's an illusionary manifestation. Dropping down another tier now. Nobody on this earth is alive. The entire world is a hallucination. That's like the idea that nothing exists outside of your head. It's all in your head. Seems like as the further we go down this iceberg, the more insane these entries are. But literally, they're making it seem like you might be insane. I definitely feel insane sometimes. And if the whole world is a hallucination, then that is one hell of a hallucination. I got one powerful brain. And my brain hates me. Because why am I not like a billionaire or something? Why am I not literally Batman? If I can hallucinate the world, why did I not make myself a superhero? And make myself some weirdo loser who gets really weird when he talks to women and makes weird videos online. Like, why did I choose that? Why would I hallucinate that? God, that entry is making me mad at myself, because if this is a hallucination, I'm pissed. God, I suck even at hallucinating. Can't even be cool in imaginary land. Eternal void after death. So this is kind of like consciousness after death, except I guess you're obviously going to be conscious here, but there's nothing after. There's no heaven or hell. There's no afterlife in any way, shape, or form. It's just eternal void, which I guess means you may not be conscious, because technically there's an eternal void before you're alive, because nothing is there. You're not even a thought yet. So after you die, it would make sense that you go back to the eternal void. You come from nothingness. You go to nothingness. Makes sense in my human brain. Now, the final entry on this whole iceberg. Am I real? No, you're not real. I'm real. I'm the core character. I'm the main character. I'm the protagonist. You are an NPC. You don't matter. You're literally just a figment of my imagination. Literally, dude. Literally just a figment of my imagination, dude. But yeah, on a serious note, that idea right there, am I real? That'll give you existential nightmares. Have you waking up in cold sweats like that dude from Ren and Stimpy, the meme where he just sets up and goes, just have you those 3 a.m. thoughts when you wake up, your throat's parched, and you're like, damn, I really have consciousness. I have free will. I exist in this minuscule, meaningless planet called Earth, in this vast universe where the Earth looks like a speck of dust on the horizon. Such a meaningless existence. But I'm here, and it feels meaningful, and I guess I'm real. Everything I perceive seems real to me, so I'm just going to go with the flow. If it feels real, might as well make the most out of it, you know? Live your life to the fullest. Have fun. Do what you want. Don't commit any crimes. Don't be a bad person, but, you know, have fun within the means of being a decent person, at least. But yeah, that's the whole iceberg. I'm sure you didn't enjoy hearing me ramble for this long, but I enjoy rambling about this kind of stuff, so I'll probably do it again in the future. But I'll catch you in the next one, you diddly doodle.